Hi. It's been a while since I spoke verbally in one of these, but I have something I think is really strong that I want to talk about, and usually I speak for those. first it was uh, First it was the don't JD after RC stuff, then it was the wall slump stuff, and now it's tension penalty is what we're gonna talk about today. So tension penalty is a mechanic where when you do things that cost meter, you build less meter for a period of time. So for example, if I hit pot, you'll notice that I build a large amount of meter when I hit him with dire, but if I was to RC first, I build next to nothing. Different actions incur different meter penalty. So if I do a super, you'll notice it's taking quite a while before I start building full meter again, like right there. But if I was to do a blue RC, you'll notice I'm now building meter a little bit faster. It wears off quicker. And for RCs, specifically when you fast RC, like I'm already building full meter again, the penalty's halved. This is most noticeable when you do really basic confirms, like /stun dipper, and then you fast RC, instead of doing, red RC into charge dust. The reason this is important, besides meter being, an incredibly important resource, Kai players a lot of the time will say, he's a really meter hungry character, right? He needs meter for mix-ups, he needs meter for his good combos, he needs, he has good supers that you want to have access to, and he just has too much locked behind that 50 bar threshold. But he's also really good at not spending that much meter when he RCs and building a lot of meter anytime he can catch you airborne. So to show an example of what I'm talking about, I'm gonna do a couple RC combos from Stun Dipper. I'm gonna do like a cash out red RC charge dust combo, and then two fast RC combos. One that's like kind of a B&B, and then one that sacrifices maybe a little bit of damage to build a bit more meter. So you'll notice that last combo was a little bit too close, and Dire broke wall, but it still built significantly more meter. And the reason for that is the idea is to blow through your tension penalty. You actually want your entire tension penalty to be gone while you're still comboing them. So what this means is that the last couple hits of the combo build full meter, and this can put you in a lot of spots where you break the wall, you get positive. One hit after you break the wall will guarantee that you can RC off that hit and potentially cash out for a lot of damage or win the round. And on top of that, you can have stuff like you have a little bit of meter like above 50 bar going in, so you just straight up have a whole bar before positive even starts ticking after you break wall. And you can potentially, have easy access to a big round ending 100 meter combo, or, use 50 bar to like skip neutral, because I know COD players love that, or have 50 bar on defense, or use 50 bar for a mix up, and then still have meter to cash out on damage, or what have you. So why does this work, right? The idea, the combo theory, is you want the combo to physically last as long as possible, as in the time that it takes, not the amount of hits, and you want as many hits as possible after you burn through tension penalty. It's likely gonna be like 1 or 2 hits, but that's the idea. So an example that I think illustrates this really well is a Tap Dust combo. Tap Dust is something that's kind of fallen off from a lot of Ky players I've watched. I think they tend to go for stuff like BRC overheads, or like some gimmicky shit with like 214K fast RC or whatever. But something that's really nice about Tap Dust is that because it causes a launch, it lets you do some funny shit that gets you most of your meter back. So this example I've shown on the channel before. There's a video that details a bunch of examples and like important places where this can come into play, and I'll put that in the description. And those combos are really good, and you should like use them and steal them. I think this shit is really, really strong. But like if you Tap Dust, right? Right? What I did there is after the 6H wall bounce, instead of doing like 6H loops or go like right into dire 6H and like cashing out on damage, I juggled with 5K twice. This lets Pot kind of hang and hit stun for a little while, and physically make the combo take longer, because instead of like canceling moves into each other and just like doing the whole combo, I'm like slowly juggling it with 5K. And then after I'm done juggling the 2 5Ks, sometimes it's 1 5K, you'll notice in the first example I gave, I just did 1. That's just kind of something you have to, you know, pay attention to spacing from the wall. But you'll notice I fucked it up there, and there, but you'll notice I did Kara Dyer. Now, this isn't because Kara Dyer builds a sliver more meter than just doing 5K Dyer, although it also does that. It's because it keeps you closer to the opponent, so that the combo connects consistently. The Kara Dyer there is not for style points. There might be some spacings you don't need it, but I would recommend just practicing it and doing it every time, because there's no reason not to, because on top of it, making the combo work at all ranges. You know, you also build a little bit more meter. It technically comes out a couple frames slower, so if you're off by like a frame burning through your tension penalty, I guess it can salvage you. I don't know if that's ever really applicable, but again, there's no reason really not to. And then you'll notice the last couple hits of that combo built full meter. Like I was already building full meter before I broke the wall, not just the wall break. The combo ended the combo. I also whiffed to Dyer. This is something Ky players have been doing for a while, as kind of like a weird frame kill thing to build a little bit of extra meter. But it's really good for these types of concepts. You can still just cash out on damage and like run up in DP. Like just you can look at your meter and say, well, I'll build enough. I'll take the couple extra points of damage because it might make like 2 touching Milia easier or something. But yeah, it's pretty good to whiff Dyer there. Also, you can technically microdash Dyer if you really want to build as much meter as possible, but it's quite tight. I don't know if I'd advise it. You can also microdash DP, which is even tighter, which means you get max damage and max meter. But again, it's pretty tight, so I personally don't go for it. But if you wanna be a real gamer, that option's also available to get maybe that extra pixel that you might need. So just to clarify, I keep saying meter gain this, meter gain that. It's really good for meter gain. That's not fully true. It's really good for blowing through your tension penalty. It's really good for outlasting that period where your meter is gained very slowly. So I go and do a starter where you can kind of apply the same concepts as the RC combo, and we do something that's, you know, a little bit similar to what we were just doing, right? That builds a bunch of meter, right? Now if we go for something that's a little bit more optimal, I missed the ender there, but you can see that the meter gain's like the same. This stuff doesn't really help you build meter faster, but it does, when you RC, negate a lot of the meter you spend RCing. This isn't something you can only do off of a starter like Tap Dust or Far Slash, that kind of gets you these big, like, unscaled not unscaled, but like low gravity scaling combos where you can kind of do whatever you want. If we start with something a little bit more scaled, like 2S, right? Hold on, I need to get myself 50 bar again. But if we do a more scaled starter like 2S, you can kind of apply the same logic, even if you're not doing the exact same, like, oh, I'm going to do Kara Dyer here. And there I even added in the micro dash Dyer. But again, you really only lose a couple points of damage. It seems to be somewhere from like 2 to 4, maybe like 6 at most. The damage difference is not that big, but the meter gain difference is monumental, and I think it's incredibly strong, and people should work this into their RC combos, because Ky RCs a lot, right? Ky gets a huge amount of RC. He turns small hits into unfair amounts of damage if he gets both hits of Stun Dipper and gets to fast RC off of it. And you really don't lose that much, and you get almost all of it back. Like I said, I have a video that shows a couple 2-touch scenarios on like Millie and Chip using this concept, and then also just kind of how far you can push that damage against someone that doesn't quite die. I use auto in the video, but yeah, I think this is huge. The trade-off is quite small for how much you get. And even outside of like scenarios you set up in training mode to look really nice, right? Like, yeah, it gives me exactly enough bar to touch the squishy characters in training mode. Even talking about more match practical stuff, your bar is not always going to be 50 or 100, right? It can be any percentage in between. So if you have like a bar and a half, you'll have a bar going in, whereas you won't quite be at that threshold otherwise, right? If you do a different combo. So yeah, that's all I have. That's kind of all I wanted to really show off. It's not too much more in depth than when I posted the Fast RC Concepts video. I didn't get too granular. I think that if you're watching this and taking something away from it, you'll probably be able to go and find, like, off whatever RC starter you're thinking of. Like, I think you'll have enough information to be like, oh, I can probably do this to burn through my penalty and build a bunch of bar. I don't think I need to go through and detail everything specifically. But yeah, I think it's incredibly strong. I've been slowing down on this game a little bit and not putting out as much Ky stuff and putting out basically nothing of me explaining verbally to you Ky stuff. But and I posted about that in my server a little while ago. The server that I made. I'm plugging it, I guess, here. Join if you want. Although this is probably the worst place to plug it, since I'm saying there's probably gonna be less Ky tech there now. But yeah, take it this way. Take it out of this. Take it this way. Despite me not really playing this game much anymore and slowing down on it, I cared enough about this tension penalty burning concept enough to go out of my way to go back and make a video where I explain things. Because I think it's genuinely that strong. And I think that if other characters can do this, I don't know if they'll be able to, because Ky can, like, use his K buttons quite well to burn a lot of tension, or burn a lot of time to get through his tension penalty, because it's like, it juggles them in the air in a while, and then he cancels into a special that, like, slides them out, and then he picks up after that. Like, it takes a lot of time. It takes a couple seconds, right? So, but if other characters can do this too, it would be equally as strong as them. I think this is just a system level thing that's potentially, like, monstrously strong if it's, you know, fully optimized. And I genuinely think that 99.9% of the time you land a hit that converts into RC, if you know you're going to bring it to the wall, you should alter your route to get as much meter as possible, especially with how busted positive bonus is, right? Having 50 meter in positive bonus is a loaded gun. And Ky is already someone that even though people don't tend to be like, his meterless conversions aren't that good. You need the right hits, yada yada yada. Um, this character with 50 meters is fucking stupid. This character converts 50 meter into damage so well when he's RCing. Maybe not with his supers as much, but well, Sacred Edge, but yeah, RC Kai gets huge reward off doing like a mid-range poke and a stun dipper RC or what have you, or like tap dust RC. Kai's reward is a lot better than most, and this just lets you do that much more often, or RC combo and, like I said earlier, have meter for like defense or to do like some mix-up on offense, that kind of stuff, or send a reversal if you're feeling spicy. But yeah, I know I'm repeating myself a lot, and it's probably a bit tiresome, but I think this is monumentally strong. I think this is insanely strong, and I think that it's what you should do if you play Kai. I really, really do. I don't get that adamant about things often because I'm not that good at the game, right? I don't even really play it that much anymore. But I just kind of lab it and find optimal combos and setups or whatever. But if there's something I'm gonna have a strong opinion on, it's that this is ridiculously strong, and if you play Kai, should use it whenever possible. Thanks for watching.